On the Rave!
Hi, this is Mark Archer from Alternate.
Hi, this is Ian from Dream Frequency.
This is Slipmat, and you're in tune to the On the Rave.
On the Rave.
On the Rave!
Podcast.
Watch your bass fins, I'm telling you.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I am that extremely cold pot noodle that you intended to eat hour and a half ago, that you made while you were wankered in the chalet at Bangface, that you're still going to consume cold because even a cold pot noodle on your belly is better than nout. Gav?
I am that 6am shouty, loud and spouty, pinger stealing, wheeling, dealing son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time keeping these Air Max on my feet, son. I am the habitual Lindisfarne lime stepper, the Ric Flair of Lindisfarne. Woo! I'm Addie.
You tuned in once again to the On the Rave podcast. Addie, how's it going? That was a marvellous intro, by the way.
I became inspired on the way here.
You get by Ric Flair,
yes.
No doubt. Yeah, okay.
And if there's anyone you're going to be inspired by, it's the man. And if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yeah, apparently so. Apparently so. Love a bit of Ric Flair, love a bit of banter.
And see me dressed as Ric Flair at Lindisfarne.
That's what I was going to say. Love a bit of Ric Flair at Lindisfarne. Again, this is the third of our Lindisfarne specials coming out to you. We've got a super special guest who might just be playing at the festival coming up right soon. But for now, we'll start the podcast the way we always start these podcasts, which is
Ravers' Choice.
And this time out, we are paying homage to our new fan base. Recently, Podbean sent us a whole load of analytics telling us where we got where our latest bunch of fans from. And it seems that we're now being listened to in Russia, Addie.
It's weird, that,
It's really weird.
There's not a fucking chance in hell that they understand a word that we're saying.
Well, that's what you'd imagine, isn't it?
Well, there's people in London that don't understand a word that we're fucking saying, guys.
Well, that's it, I suppose. But hey, we decided to request a bit of a donk opener because a bit of Russian donk is all the way live. And this time out, the best tune was actually picked by my missus. Not that there's any favouritism in that at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. So, the tune we're going to open up today with is called Dealer, and it's by DJ Surreal, spelt with 3s and stuff like that. I'll put a link in the comments.
Can't bang and dunk on it.
Let's do it.
Cocaine, ecstasy, dope, crack and GHP, ice speed, ketamine, nitrous and heroin, mescaline, DMT, mushrooms and LSD. I'm your dope provider. Get this shit inside your cocaine, ecstasy, dope, crack and GHP, ice speed, ketamine, nitrous and heroin, mescaline, DMT, mushrooms and LSD. I'm your dope provider. Get this shit inside your cocaine, ecstasy, dope, crack and GHP, ice speed, ketamine, nitrous and heroin, mescaline, DMT, mushrooms and LSD. shit inside your cocaine, ecstasy, crack and GHB, ice, speed, ketamine, nitrous and heroin, mescaline, DMT, mushrooms and LSD. I'm your dope provider. Get the shit inside your cocaine, ecstasy, crack and GHB, ice, speed, ketamine, nitrous and heroin, mescaline, DMT, mushrooms and LSD. I'm your dope provider. You want it? I got it. I'm your dealer. I'm your dealer. You want it? I got it. I'm your dope provider. Cocaine, ecstasy, crack and GHB, ice, speed, ketamine, nitrous and heroin, mescaline, DMT, mushrooms and LSD. I'm your dope provider. I'm your dealer.
The On The Rave podcast is available absolutely everywhere to download, and you can get in touch with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/On The Rave. You can find us on Twitter @On The Rave. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/On The Rave. We are on Instagram,
That's my favourite one then.
where you can find us on the rave with Addie and Gav, where you can see pictures of what Addie's been doing during the week. Shenanigans. We are powered by Podbean.
And fueled by Basement
Don't
Snaxx.
forget that you can go into Ridley Place, wander down that spiral staircase and scream at Dom's
On the Rave!
and she will give you 10% off all of your cookies and snacks. Oh, it's
goodness.
good. A bit of druggy donkey nonsense to start another one of these ruddy podcasts.
All the kids would be loving that, especially those Russian kids. Big up the Russia.
Yeah, big up the Russian DJ UEP fan base, which are like, we're going to find out where these people are. We've got to find out. Maybe
If you send us a sexy bear hat thing, I'll be over the moon.
yeah, and you'll wear it in all of the pictures and all of the images. So, as we were saying, this is the third, but not final, but it's the third of the podcast that we'd agreed to do for Lindisfarne. And we've got a super guest coming on who has, well, he's been synonymous on the rave scene in Newcastle for a long time.
And with Lindisfarne,
Yeah.
with his little enclosure growing year to year.
But before we get into that, let's just do a couple of little thank yous. Let's, of course, shout out a big thank you to our two patrons, two wonderful people, and you can obviously join them all by going to patreon.com/on the rave and joining the Front Right Massive. And there's going to be some exclusive Patreon-only content going up. There's a hashtag going around called Share Your Studio. We're going to be making a little video to post up for what people's on Patreon, but the only way you're going to get to see that
Join us.
is by joining the Front Right Massive and getting involved with all of that crack. But that being said, Eddie, guess what?
What's that, Gavin?
We have gone and got another fan-dabby dozy guest for everyone.
Who's it this week?
Well, you know, as we were saying, in conjunction with Lindisfarne Festival, this is the third podcast we're doing with them, and we're joined by a guy who's been working his absolute arse off to ensure that this festival doesn't go down a hitch. He's going to be running his own stage while he's there. He's actually been requested in the past by people. We're finally sat down with Richie EARL GREY. Richie, how's it going?
I'm absolutely tip-top, thanks very much.
Good. It's nice to hear, isn't it?
It is.
When we put a call out for people from the Northeast, who people would like to hear from, you were one of the names that was mentioned.
Alright, cool.
So it was nice to finally get you on, but also get you on in conjunction with all this hard work you've been pouring your life into to get Lindisfarne off the ground.
And
How we
hopefully
do.
sell a few more tickets.
Hopefully, yes, I buy tickets, like.
Yeah.
Still available. Get them do.
Yeah, there's a link in the description. There'll be two, actually, because overkill. Just make sure they've got that link. Well, for the uninitiated, or for people who might not be familiar, do you want to tell everyone a little bit about what you do in the world of music, and then maybe a little bit about all the graft you're putting in Lindisfarne?
Where really originally just started out DJing under the name of sort of EARL GREY, which has always been old school, you know, acid house, old school up to about 92, 93. Not the anthem stuff, you know, like Addie likes. Addie loves his hands in the air anthem stuff.
Yep.
I like the B-side stuff, the obscure stuff, the proper fucking ravey stuff. Like,
Yeah.
And kind of apart from that, I've got like the stage concept that I started up a few years ago, and it's progressed on to what it is now. Luckily, I got the gig at LINDISFARNE, and this year I'm showcasing my new stage, which is called DeltaCity.
Yeah.
Which is based on the film. Do you know what it's based on?
No, I don't know what it's
Take a
based
guess. DeltaCity.
on.
Robocop, isn't it?
Oh, it's
yeah.
Robocop.
Aye.
Sorry, do you know when your brain just goes completely empty for a second
Yes,
there? Like I couldn't even remember that Blade Runner was the one I was thinking of. Now I can actually see
So
it.
it's kind of off that, you know. So it's sort of like a shit tip, drag, run, fuel, sex sort of like town scene.
Sounds like our thing, like.
It
It does, yes.
Bit of
Oh,
everything.
right. That's why I've got backstage passes. You
Bit
know?
Yes.
of everything.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll
So-
see we're floating around.
I probably will do.
Speaking
Yes.
to some peoples,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. So it's like kind of, I like me techno. There's like, so it's, the stage runs over 3 days. You know, on the Thursday night, we've got Body Melt doing a 4-hour set.
I love a bit of Sinister Glove.
Yes. Sounds like a bit Jimmy Savile, that, doesn't it?
It's very Savile.
It is. That's what I was thinking the other day. Like you see on the Friday, what the hell have we got? Like, I'll not go through all the artists, but we've got quite a few good ones on. Saturday as well, we've got Jez from LFO.
Nice.
Jez Varley's playing.
It's a good ball. Good
Tokyo
ball.
Acid Crew are doing a full live show.
Oh, nice.
And Frank de Wolf, he's flying over from Belgium. Got him on.
Right.
Apart from that, we've got...
RNS legend.
Yes, very true. Like, so that's on the Saturday. The whole sort of like build is, it's quite hard to explain. The best thing to do is buy a fucking ticket.
Get down there. Come on the rave with
Yes,
us.
Come on the rave.
Yeah.
With, DeltaCity.
Even if you
and,
do like rave, you're still gonna have an amazing time. It's a great
There's
festival.
loads of other stuff on as well. Like one of the other things I'm particularly looking forward to is Gentleman's Dub Club. They are just they're just wicked live. I've seen them before, and I've got my landlord hooked to them.
What's that?
What's that?
What-
Gentleman's Dub Club.
Yeah.
It's a
What do
band.
you mean? It's a band.
What sort of music?
Oh, it's trumpets, Eddie.
Oh, fuck
Oh,
that
I'm,
shit.
not, I'm more into like electronic repetitive beats. As soon as it turns into guitars, it's noise. It's noise. The only thing I like in bands is drums. That's it. Everything else, guitars, trumpets, flutes, fucking violins.
Fuck all that shit.
I'm not interested. Like I'm on Addie's page. Like
Yeah, you want to
Give us a 909 and some fucking sirens.
Yes.
I'll be fucking
yes.
jumping around for hours.
All right, sound. And I mean, you've played at like so many different nights across in Newcastle. I mean, I've seen you like on endless number of detox flyers. Didn't you used to play at the old Freaky Dancings and stuff like
Played
that?
a couple of freaky dancings.
Yeah.
Probably in the back room when the likes of Addie used to play quite a lot. When everything was just kind of, everyone would like beg, steal and borrow like someone's sound system, someone's decks,
Someone's headphones,
someone's
constantly.
headphones.
It's always someone's headphones.
And like speakers would be blown, and but like freaky dancing, detox. Used to play detox quite a lot. All the like small little nights, you know, like when you
What
used
was
to.
organised? Influence.
Influence is probably
Influence
where,
at the Stout Fiddler.
Yep, the great Rave basement, which was a fantastic venue.
Oh.
Venues we didn't have anymore.
Yeah.
The cupboard.
We
playing
go
bars
on
there.
and on and on
Yes,
about
there's
venues
no-
in Newcastle. There's
no
none in
venues.
Newcastle.
We're fucked, you know, we've had our arse raped and we've had the rave took away from us.
Yeah.
So if you can find a big warehouse, I'll put my stage in it.
Yeah, there we go.
There's an offer for all you warehouse owners.
Yeah, anyone out there who just wants one night of really, really good business, you know the man to doff your cap to. I'll tell you what, let's start cracking on and answering a few of these questions there. So, as we do on the On the Rave podcast, we send you a list of questions to sort of think through your hardcore history, like your history in music. And we always start with section 1, which is the early influences.
Yep.
So, early on, like who played the music in the house? Like what sort of thing was being played?
I wouldn't say really music got played in my house quite a lot from what I remember.
Yeah.
Usually a lot of the time when I would hear music was when we were going places, like on family holidays.
Car journeys.
Car journeys. Like
It's
my
very
dad-
often that it happens like
it is.
It's
It was
very
like
often.
My dad had this old VW camper van.
Right.
So we'd go on holiday for about 3 weeks. He'd take her out to school because like school was shit. And
But you get away with that back then.
oh, you could like no fines, fuck the fines, and out like that then. And we'd go down like the south of France and like Spain and places, and you'd have things like Queen playing, Mickey J. He would be on, what other stuff like Roy Orbison and all that sort of stuff, you know. But it was the same tapes every year.
Yeah.
Because it was tapes. There was no MP3. It was just a red
We
case.
talk about
tapes.
another subject that we always talk about, tapes.
Tapes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tapes in the car seems to be like if you were brought up through the sort of late 70s, early 80s
Yes.
sort of thing, because we've all so many people of our age group, you know what I mean? The slightly older, more cynical and hardcore
Yes.
raver.
You don't know
we all have the
struggle
same
until
memory.
you desperately trying to reel that tape in because it's
or fixing
twisted
it with a bit
somewhere,
sellotape.
and it's your favourite tape, and it's you've knocked it.
They don't know the nightmare that is running out of batteries for your Game Boy while like a Christmas tape's being played in the middle of July while you're going to go down to Great Yarmouth and you've already caned all 8 of your Duracell. And the only thing that was keeping you sane was Dr. Mario, and you don't even have that anymore, Gav. And how are you going to do the next 4 miles, Gav? Yeah, nightmares. But yeah, so more about you, less about me.
That's quickly fine. I didn't have a Game Boy, so you must have been posh as a kid.
Must have been, yeah.
I had fuck all.
Yeah. So how did you entertain yourselves? Also, what sort of music did you listen to on the long journeys?
So even like you say, like say, my father loved Queen and stuff like that. My mother was always into music because when my mother was in a band.
All right.
In the 70s, you know, and that's how me dad actually met my mother because he was the roadie, he was the minder in the roadie. So he that's how he got with my mum when she was quite young, you know. They were on what was it called? Something called New Faces. It was like a big...
I've heard of that.
Probably 76 it
wow.
was.
Oh, well, that was the year I was born,
And it's the only episode that the BBC can't find. There's 3 episodes missing, they can't find.
Amazing. We had the tape in the house from like New Faces 86 or something like that, and it was like, you know, when you get your old tape and it was in like a paper one, where your mum and dad would buy posh plastic ones to put ones away to keep forever in. It was in one of those. It was in the Keep Forever VHS with it handwritten and a little note on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure one of the headline acts was.
It wasn't the Macaulays, was it? Because that's what the word.
It was Neil Morrissey.
Neil Morrissey.
The comedian guy. No, that's the other Morrissey. Neil Morrissey, the guy from Men Behaving Badly.
Oh, I know who you mean.
And he basically did a stand-up set with an acoustic guitar, doing impressions of musicians from the time.
Did he win?
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't remember.
See, it was a more credible version of fucking Britain's Got Talent.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
It is. It's a less trolley version of Britain's Got Talent.
Very true.
Do you know what it is? Have we really been doing this since the 80s? Since the 70s even? 70s. Laughing at people's misfortunes.
Well, the 70s was a big scene for like sort of family bands and that, you know. Then they were quite big. They were quite big. Used to play out of Scotland and stuff, you know. So that's kind of where I think I get the musical influence from. However, the rave influence is just not from my mum and dad at all.
Yeah.
Like my dad only went to his first rave when he come to Lindisfarne 2 years ago, and he was up on the stage, fucking rocking on and raving away. He was doing the smoke machine. He was doing the lights while I was DJing, you know. And he loved it, like. But that's kind of like where I think I get it from. But getting like the rave influence was from my brother coming home with like tapes again, boys. And you find him in his room, probably when you're going in to pinch his best shirt because you're going out, you know, and like pinch your brother's older, bigger clothes, like big leather jacket that doesn't fit you and stuff.
Nabby's ID.
Yes. I used to all the time. I used to use his birth certificate. I used to use his driving licence.
So you look similar, like, or was it really?
He's uglier.
He's uglier.
Yeah, he's uglier and he's older. So, and like the tapes, you know, like kind of, and then you'd have them in your Walkman when I was on holiday. Again, going down to France, I'd put my headphones in. I was about 12-year-old. I remember this one time walking along a beach, just like pumping like mint tunes like Hardcore, you know the score, Who Shot JFK, stuff like that, like really good European stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember looking up and there's this bloke and he's got his bits hanging round, like he's knobbly, you know, and I'm like, where the fuck am I? And I was on a nudist beach because I'd walked that many miles. I'd walked to like the nudist area in France, you know.
Right.
And there's loads of like people lying round with out on, and I'm just like, fuck me, I've already come out for a walk to listen to hardcore, you know, and I'm on a nudist beach. But like that's got nothing to do with it. But kind of the tapes is what got us into it. Pirate radio. The first rave I ever seen was on London's Burning when they had it was on Sunday night. And when London's Burning was on a Sunday, and it was in a warehouse, and there was a big giant pink pig, and it set on fire, and obviously that shut the rave down. But that was my first experience of a rave, virtually. Do you know what
Virtual
I mean?
experience.
Yeah.
Virtually.
Virtual experience.
It didn't scare you off with the London's Burning?
I didn't know that. Everyone used to watch London's Burning on a Sunday. Well, I did.
Must have been before my time.
How old are you like?
What?
How old are you?
In my 30s.
In your 30s, alright. I'm not even 40 yet, so it's alright.
Yeah, I'm 36. Am I 36 or 35? I always forget.
Yeah.
I always forget somewhere in that.
34 will take some years off for you, son.
Oh, there we go.
Well, definitely too young for
with a little bit of young and youth vigor. Let's tie this all in and say, if you could pick one tune to represent all of those early influences, probably like the ones that your brother had on you more than anything else.
Yeah.
What one tune?
Well, I would say probably not necessarily because of what my brother showed us on tapes, because I didn't know the name of the tunes. I literally found these out only over the past, say, 10 years because of YouTube. And because of Discogs and all that, that's when you start to discover, is when in your later life, you know. But I do remember like Opus 3 to Find You. It was a really good tune. I used to be in a band, and the guy who was in the band used to play bongos for him.
Right.
And he used to do studio sessions, and I think he played on a few tracks, and one track was just like, and he got paid like 150 quid. And I got a free album. So
yeah,
I got it on record. So that is one track that like stands out to me for some reason. It's like one of my earlier memorable ones because I knew the name.
Yeah, cool. Well, it's a classic.
Opus 3?
Yeah, Opus 3. It's a fine day. What an absolutely belting tune, and a great way to kick off the list pick by Richie here.
Starting Rave, finishing Rave, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Opus 111. It's a fine day, and that was an absolute banger, and hopefully it reminds him of that fine day he wandered onto the nudist beach in the south of France.
Yes.
Let's crack on and do section 2. So this is the part of the podcast where we talk about the music that you were finding yourself after after the music that was like pushed on you. So when you were finding your own feet, what sort of tunes did you fall into?
Obviously, if, like a lot of people, the Prodigy were very early influence.
Yeah.
You know, like the Experience album.
Yes. Of course, the best Prodigy album.
Yes, it is.
Yes, yeah.
Followed by Jilted.
Yeah.
Followed by Fatland, and after that, Lost Interest.
Right. Don't like any of the newer stuff.
I don't like Girls.
I
like
like
Girls.
but
Girls
like
is
it's
alright.
just too much guitars, you know.
Right.
Oh yeah, I've got to.
They lost the Rave.
But they got a bit like sort of, but the legend band though, legend fucking band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like the Prodigy, that's like the Experience album, great. A lot of the tracks on there, it's like really like the sound was completely different to everything else. You know, like kind of a lot of tracks that were out back then. A lot of them had a particular sound. Everything had its own like sort of direction, whereas theirs was just totally different. Everything was different, you know.
Yeah, they didn't fit into one
Category.
genre
That's
easily,
right.
did they? They're sort of like you had your rave, you had your like your old school, and your
Because they weren't
jazzers.
like hardcore breaks.
Yeah.
They weren't techno.
And
They
then
weren't
you had-
like.
And then you had Prodigy, and it was like
Yes.
their own category, really.
That's very true, But they've obviously progressed over time, they've moved with the times, and that's what some people do need to realise is like you can't just play the same sound all the way through. Otherwise you're just a fucking greatest hits band. Just
Yeah,
playing
you've
the
got
same
to
shite.
evolve
You've got to
what
evolve.
you're doing.
So the haters will always hate, but the lovers will always appreciate what they do, you know.
Yeah,
And
that's
hats
it.
off to them, R.I.P. Keith Flint.
Yeah, definitely. No, it was a big bloke. So what sort of tunes stood out then? You said that Experience is the best.
Obviously.
Yeah, well, as we've discussed at length on this show.
Every time it comes up.
Every time it comes up, exactly.
So what sort of ones from that do I like? Yeah, I like the Weather Experience.
Oh, that's absolute anthem.
I remember playing at Detox at the Tiny Studios. I dropped that halfway through the set, and it was at the time when there was an E drought. There was no E's in the country.
Right.
This is all to do with the 7/7 bombings down in London, and I think they shut all the ports and that down. You couldn't get nothing for about a year and a half.
Right.
And then so there was a lot of like ketamine pills around and stuff like that. And so I make some space cakes, space gateau. So in the breakdown for Weather Experience, I was giving gateau out to everybody in this shitty little back room with a fucking crap sound system, because like the back room's always got a shit sound system at Detox, notorious. And then there's people like scoffing fucking gateau in and that, and then just blasted off with the hardcore again, you know. So I do like the Weather Experience.
Yeah, that's banging. That is like I don't remember being there, but I would have really appreciated being handed a massive piece of guato like that. Like that sounds well funny.
Like even other stuff on there, like fuck it, I'm terrible with names. Like you can give us a record, I know the colour, I know the sleeve, I know the pattern.
Yeah,
but when it
not the
comes to naming tunes,
You'll probably be able to tell you which one,
Yes,
like which track on the album it was,
Yep.
but not the name of it.
Yep, exactly
That's
true.
that track. I know.
Aye, that's exactly what I'm like. But one of my favourite ones of it is actually, do you want us to name it now for you?
Of course,
Go for
yeah. Go for it.
Jericho.
Right. I love
Tune.
that. Yeah. I absolutely love this tune. It's a beast of a tune. It's another one of those ones. The second break phenomenon, as I keep talking about it, because that second break is just filthy. It's
just
piece.
absolute full of energy, this track. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's it. And it's named after one of the most talented wrestlers in the world ever. So let's play some Jericho. For the finding your feet moment, this is the Prodigy.
Feel the bass come down on me, baby. Feel the
Oh my gosh, that was Jericho by The Prodigy.
It was.
And what a tune.
It is. It's an absolute beast and a rarity in a Prodigy tune that we found that hasn't already been
played.
played. So that was spot on. Let's move on to section 3, which is when we talk about first rave memories.
Right.
So, do you remember specifically the very first big rave you went to?
I wouldn't say it was a big rave, but it was the first proper party I went to that doesn't include like the community centre when you were a kid for like Friday night disco, you know.
The first
first proper
rave in a proper venue, you know what I mean? Not a kiddie rave or a church rave or something like that.
I think it was just before my 17th birthday, and it was actually when I first met Addie, if he remembers, and I do have a photograph from that night. It was at the Arts Centre.
Oh, I missed it. I was just reminiscing the other day about how Newcastle, I mean, the Arts Centre's still there. I don't know.
I use it though. I went salsa dancing there last year. I was shit. I was shit. Like, they were just like, who's the musician? I was like, me. They were like, well, you know, everything works off 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Salsa works off 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and you miss a step out. There's me fucking raving to salsa, you know.
Yeah, because it's not 4/4.
It's not 4/4. It's not 4/4. You know.
Yeah, it's what I'm taking.
So it was at the Arts Centre. Was the first Milk the Cow that was on. So that was like downstairs. So it was all like drum and bass. You wouldn't know because you were playing in that little hole.
There would be a lot of old school and drum and bass. There would be drum and bass in one school, old school in
drum
another.
bass,
Yeah,
acid techno,
acid technos like Strap.
There was that Dutch bloke on as well, I think. Dutch Tom.
Oh, Dutch Tom, yeah.
Yes.
Dutch Tom, there'd be me, Don, Mike Cow. I'm not sure we're allowed to see this. Oh, no, he's out. His name is Gary Kelly.
He's out.
He's out his name.
You make it sound like it's Tom Cruise in the closet.
He kept it secret for a long fucking time. The amount of people I used to say, oh, do you know Mike? I was like, Mike? Oh, right. Oh, Gary.
Funny enough, the lad who I worked with, his cousin was Mike. And that's how we got in.
Right.
And I was being so young, they were stopping at the door. So give him his credit. You know, Gary actually said, no, I'll get them in and my cousin and his mate. So I was like, just for my 17th, you know. And it kind of woke us up a little bit again. Do you know what? I fucking love this.
Yeah.
And then that led on to go to Rock Shots for it.
Yeah.
Also led on to go to Steppers, which was on the alternative weeks.
Yes, it was.
Yep, aye. So that was for the drum and bass. And I remember probably the first big thing was when Mickey Finn was on.
Oh,
when Mickey in the fucking Rock Shots was like that.
Absolutely
proper sweating. I got home at 4 in the morning. I had to get up at 7 o'clock to go to work.
Oh, nice.
And I was only like, what, 17?
Yeah.
So,
was it that drippy ceiling as well? In
it
Rock
was.
Shots?
It was no poppers in the fog machines. Like, I got the pints. Like when you obviously you DJ'd then. Sometimes I would MC. I used to take your mic. And
did you MC before you
MC
started
with and we are.
Never. I never knew that. I've known you that long.
Shite. I used to put cans of LCL in the bottom of your bag because I remember pints of LCL used to taste like someone spewed in the barrel. Am I right?
Aye, it was weird, that place.
It was a bit strange.
Yeah,
like,
so you always used to have a stash of
that's true.
take your own booze in there and just eat.
I smoked my first joint in there as well.
Really?
Yes, first time I tried skunk, and I was that stoned. I went to the toilets and I fell asleep, and I woke up at 2:30 and it shut at 2. And I come out with my massive leather jacket on I borrowed from my brother, and they were like, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" I was like, "I fell asleep in the bog."
What, and they just hadn't checked for you?
I hadn't checked. I got chucked.
Well done, security. Well done, security. Fucking hell. So what tunes do you remember being played? Or what tunes do you associate with like your first real rave memories?
We're probably with that is like when I first got introduced to like drum and bass.
Yeah.
Really would have been, you know, and I liked obviously the old school and that progressed on to drum and bass, you know, jungle and stuff, but it was by Andy C and who was he again? Like,
was it Shimon?
Shimon and Andy C, and it was Night Flight.
Yeah.
Was it? It's just got that particular sound for us, you know.
It's nice.
That sound that you don't really get now with drum and bass.
Yeah.
You know.
It's very typical of the label, that Ram Records one, isn't it? Because it's like, it's that sort of late 90s Ram Records sound, I'd say, like, which was like quintessentially a lot of people grew up to that sort of drum and bass. That's the sort of stuff that was on, because it was that and like sort of LTJ Bookham and stuff that was like the sort of more floaty side of drum and bass.
Yes, whereas
so
now it's very sort of like mechanical.
Techie rollers.
Yeah.
I do like it, right? I like a good drum and bass when I get the chance, you know?
Yeah. I don't know if I prefer the older stuff than the new stuff that's put out, but I don't know if that's just...
It floats me boat. If I
it's
like
just
it...
the old
A
line.
good tune's a good tune, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's it. If someone puts out a banger these days, I'll still dance to it. The harder stuff's what gets me going these days.
Yes, definitely.
Especially when it comes to drum and bass, the hard crossbreedy stuff. Oh, it's lovely. But speaking of lovely, let's play that lovely track that you selected. So, for the first rave memories, we're going to play a bit of Shimon and Andy C. And the tune's called Night Flight. There we go. That was all of the drums and all of the basses. That was Annie C and Shimon.
Classic.
Yeah, from Ram Records in 1996, and the tune's called Night Flight. Let's crack on and talk about Festival Fever. So
we all love a festival, don't we?
We do all love a bit of a festival.
And as this is a Lindisfarne special.
Yeah, I'll be absolutely amazed if you don't answer the question. If you answer this next question with a no. So, do you like a bit of outdoor noise?
Fucking love outdoor noise.
Way.
That's one reason
the best
why
kind of noise?
It's the best. That's why my stage isn't in a tent. It's the only dedicated rave stage that is outdoors.
Oh, you open air?
Oh, I'm not in a tent, like. I'm actually in an enclosed city.
DeltaCity.
DeltaCity. Actually, like, kind of, it's not in a tent, like, I don't believe in tents. I can have a tent, don't want a tent. If it rains, fuck it, who cares? I'm semi-covered, but not. Turn the tunes up, turn the bass up, let's fucking kick it on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Good.
So there's your answer.
There was your answer. There we go, spot on. So, what sort of tunes put you in the festival mood? I'd imagine all sorts of tunes.
Well, to be fair, I think really what gets us in the mood for festivals is when I hear breaks.
Nice.
Really breaks, because when I first my first big festival I went to would have been Glastonbury many years ago, and that's when I first heard breaks when I was down there.
Right.
So that's kind of like, when I hear that sound, the only place I hear breaks is when I go down south. to festivals and
It
stuff.
was very much was. We talked about this before, where it was very much 4/4 up here, but down south it was a lot more break.
Well, that's like the rave scene, isn't it? We'll move you up here, and then you move to Scotland. It's very like 4/4 sort of like hard stuff, but down south it was more like the ravey breaks stayed down there, you know.
Yeah.
But it is a breakbeat.
Yeah.
That's what I really like.
So what sort of artists are playing? What sort of things like? By the way, a breakbeat.
Do you mean
Too
like
many.
naming them? Do you mean like naming them?
Just a couple of them.
Well, I've seen people like Hybrid. I've seen them play a couple of times. Free Fall Collective. Seen them. They were actually. I seen them doing a live show on the Arcadia stage when that first was the first concept at the Glastonbury site. So I seen it on the first night when there was only like 200 people there. Whereas now you're getting crowds of to 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 people there. So I've seen them from the birth.
Is that how many people go to those stages now?
Oh,
it's been that long
thousands.
since it's been that long since I've been on this uni journey, and I've been like neglecting summers of rave to concentrate and try and keep myself.
Quite
in the
surprised how mental it is. So
Yeah.
like, the first year I was on site at Glastonbury, it was 70,000 capacity. It was the year they put the big fence up, and there wasn't any rave. There was nothing. Everything shut at 7:30. The only rave you had was on Joe Banana's blanket stall on the big truck. You pulled the curtain over and you were dancing in the urinals and stuff, and a little stall would have stuff on, but like you get a bit of breaks here and there. And over the years it's progressed on, and it's just kind of every time I go there at the Glade stage, there'd always be breaks on. You know, and it's like just if it's nice and warm, you can have a good dance around. It's not too harsh, you know. It's not a thumping 4/4 beat. It just gets in you. It's just a nice groove, you know. So breaks for me is what brings this summer out.
Yeah, that's absolutely mint. I love that sort of breaky tunage as well. Like so, seeing all sorts.
I can't name any. That's my downfall. It's not my forte.
It's the people who I've seen people like Freak Nasty play like massive break sets,
good.
Like actually at the Glade stage as well.
Yeah.
The one that's like in the little
when
tree
it was tiny.
alcove. When it was tiny,
it would have been tiny, like a little tent, and then over the years it gets bigger and bigger. But that's progression, you know. And it's, it's good now, you know. It's,
so is it still in that little?
Still in the same bit, but like
but
the music's
on the edge of the field where the other stage is.
Yeah, other stages there, and then it's still in the trees.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the music's not as much as what it used to be. It used to be very breaky and stuff. And
well, it
now
was
it's not
ravey
like
and psytrancey because I've seen everyone from like Eat Static,
and
people like Freak Nasty and DJ Ease from Nightmares on Wax, play like all the mega breaks. But I've also seen on the same stage there, people like the Osric Tentacles.
Yes, Osric's are they good? Like
love a bit of the Osrics, like especially in the sun.
The Osric's are Hawkwind, aren't they as well?
No,
I'm thinking of Space Ritual.
Maybe the Osrics are also Eat Static and
that's
are also another one like Fungus Humongous or something like that. There's another weird one that they've got as well. But from that to like crazy breakcore, like I've seen Square Pusher do like a live slap bass set like in the trees at that Glade stage. Like
it's fucking brilliant. Like
it is.
That kind of like brings the sum out because that was actually where I used to spend my whole time on site.
Yeah.
Until they started bringing in the ravey part in the southeast corner, and now it's like it's hard to explain. You know, it's still going at 7 o'clock in the morning. You can go on the rave till 3, go to bed for 2 hours, get up and go back on the rave. It's fantastic, aye.
Yeah, there's always that nightlife thing with Glastonbury, though, isn't it? So it runs it runs constantly.
It does. Some people look at it and they kind of grief it like it's a big corporate festival. But that's this big part of it. The only part that's not is the last stronghold, which is the southeast corner, and the field that I work in, which is the Greencross Village, which is run by all the hippies and the travelling folk.
Yeah, which was the green fields.
The green fields, aye. So that's like I work out there every year, you know. So it's like we're like tucked away, but we don't go anywhere near the commoners. We don't go into Babylon.
We used to, we used to go and mission all the way down into the little green fields to go for cups of like mushroom chai at daft in the morning. You could just get all sorts, and that's where. It's where I saw Lily Allen's dad.
Yeah, Keith Allen. He had his own stall. It was in the hut, down in past the wigwams, and I seen him one year off his tits in a fucking pirate costume.
That's exactly where I saw him.
Yes.
And he came past me and my mate. When we were sitting outside of this little thing called the Lizard Lounge, and we were like, oh my god, it's like what the fuck. It's like, do you want to come and sit down and we'll get you a cup of mushroom tea? And he laughed and sat down with her. He sat down for a while and drank mushroom tea with her. And then got up. He had a bottle of Strongbow that was battered. He didn't take a drink out of it the whole time, and it was like all crunched in. Yeah, it was all crunched in. I'm glad someone else saw him that day, like, because we actually sat and had loads of banter with him, and he was put him in. And that's some of the joys of Glastonbury.
I've never seen him. I've never seen him since. Maybe he's cleaned his act up.
Maybe he got broke by the two Geordies and the mushroom tea. Definitely, like I'm sure me and Ali have probably broke many a person at that time of the blag. Like so, love to the man himself. Right, okay. Well, let's pick a tune. So, of all of the stuff that we've talked about, the breaks and stuff like that, is there one tune that stands out? Or
it would be Celebrity Science by Hybrid.
Oh, nice, big, natty, dirty
really
breaks.
do like this tune. It's just got that floaty sort of intro, and then when it comes in, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
it's a spotlight.
Yeah, it's an absolute belter. Let's play a little bit of Hydrate, and the tune's name is. And he's not playing games. It's Celebrity Science. Some nice super crunchy breaks. That was Celebrity Science by Hybrid. And Addie, guess what?
What is that?
It's
Gav?
only a 2 and a 1. And that is a letter coming from the neighbours.
I was going to say, I bet your neighbours love you, like.
Oh yeah, it's to be fair, that's the first time we've really abused the rave horn.
Have you?
Watch out, Lindisfarne.
Yeah, the newest addition to the On the Rave family, the Squatch horn, will be making its rave debut at Lindisfarne. If we're lucky, Addie will not be blowing it at 6 a.m.
You're going to fucking hear there's no chance of it not happening.
But as we do in this podcast, we offered Richie the chance to play a wild card, and he's chose to play it on this festival fever moment, because I understand there's someone else you'd like to pay some homage to by the way of festival tunage.
That kind of would be a track by the Freefall Collective,
Yeah.
which is 100% people. I seen them the first year that, like I say, like Arcadia were on site at Glastonbury,
Right.
and the stage that they built, I was like, do you know what? I would love to do that, like.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I began on my travels of wanting to do my own festival stage, but I've
Right.
never had the opportunity until now. So it does span back. So what I see them doing 10 years ago and what they've produced now gives you a lot of like hope. The difference is I don't have money. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
anything is possible when festivals have got your back and they kind of believe in what your concept, you know?
Well, if they believe in the project
Believe
that
in
you
the
want.
yeah, that's very true. And so that band was on, and again, breaks, I was like, this good.
Yeah.
And I really like it, you know?
Yeah, I actually dug
reminds
out
us.
the very, very track that you wrote about when we
Yeah.
sent out the paperwork to him, and he sent with like a blurb and explained why he was picking the tunes. It was really nice to pick through it and read what you were saying.
Yeah,
So he actually dug out the performance from Glastonbury
Oh,
from
right,
that
cool,
year
right.
to pay for everyone. Just thinking that might be a nice tie-in to what you
Oh,
were
thank you
actually
very
going
much,
to say.
not that I remember much, like.
Oh, that's all right. The big guy at the front on the mic is amazing.
Well, I
He
do
really
remember-
does ride the crowd, doesn't
I
he?
do remember that was when I had this walking stick. I used to go and raving with it and just stab it in the ground, take the top off, pull me pipe out, and just like make me pipe and have a fucking pip and pip.
Rather like an ashtray
Aye,
stand.
and then just with my big coat on with the dreads out, because obviously I used to have loads of dreads, like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. Put the pipe back in and just like start raving on again, you know. And that's while they were on, so it kind of brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
been cool. Well, let's keep this one short and sweet and get some more breaks on the go for you. This is the live version of the Freefall Collective from Glastonbury in 2009, and the tune is called 100% People.
Party people inside the place, make some noise, man. Wicked atmosphere, Ratchet Marina, reaching out to each and every one of you. Scarlet London, you don't know. 100% not in it. We 100% not in it. 100% not in it. 100% not in it. 100% not in it. We are 100% not in it. 100% not in it. We are 100% not in it. 100% not in it. We are 100% not in it. 100% not in it. Party people, make some noise.
there you have it. There is a bit more breakage. That was the wild card being played out 100% people by the Free Fall Collective. Let's shift straight into shared discovery. So the wonderful thing about music is music's a wonderful thing. It's constantly going on.
I'm just psyching myself up, Gav. I'm just psyching myself up.
I wonder what you were doing. I wondered if you had indigestion or something there. The way you were aping. No?
Gaping.
No.
Gaping.
Not
I
gaping.
am also gaping.
He's also gaping. Oh, he's just gaping for the spout.
Wait till I've got my fucking Ric Flair robe on, I'll be wooing all over Lindisfarne.
He's he said it so many times that it's no longer a warning, it's a threat.
It's not even a threat, it's a promise.
It's a promise. It's a goddamn guarantee. Let's move into shared discoveries. So the wonderful thing about music's a wonderful thing, and it's constantly evolving and changing, and there's constantly new music, and sometimes music slips through the gaps. So we offer people the chance to share someone they've discovered who they think might deserve a little bit more love than they normally get.
Right. Well,
So, is there many out there?
Well, because I actually don't get a lot of time to listen to new music because of my job. I'm not like maybe people that sit in an office all day or like kind of they're in a job where they can do that. I never get a chance to listen to new stuff. So when something pops up, if I like it, I'll give it the time. And there's a guy from Belgium called Ethan Fawkes. I'm quite liking quite a chunk of his stuff, and especially his DJ sets.
Yeah.
He's getting like sort of like the old Belgian sort of like Hoover rave stab influence, but in with like techno and stuff, you know. So a lot of these tracks he produces, they're kind of like the pace that they're at, they're quite slow and quite tough.
Yeah.
But when he does his live sets, he's putting all sorts in from loads of other artists, which is then opening my mind to new techno, which has got the old rave sound in it. So if you've got a new sound, new techno with ravey stabs and everything in it, it's got me hooked straight away.
It's ticking all the boxes.
It does. It ticks every box.
It's new music, but it's the nostalgic.
It's a nostalgic part
There's a
of
lot
it.
of artists doing it in the middle of Perk and the likes of that.
Perk, fucking really good. Like I love stuff like that. Like literally, I listen to it all day.
Yeah,
all day.
Just there's something really like progressive but nostalgic about it. That's what I like about that sort of music, because you've got the bits that are familiar from being on the dance floor, but it's new and it's different.
It is,
and like sometimes the new music's the stuff that you vibe off.
Well, it also does it. If youngins are sort of getting into it now, they're starting to discover like what's that sound, and then they're discovering older artists. So it's bringing the old in with the new, with a different generation, which technically keeps the rave going, but in a different form.
It's making the
unlike
some
new school breaks, which kind of didn't work.
Making the
because that was just literally just remixes of old. I remember seeing when I went to see Rat Pack in Bandface, and I got there and they just played a new school break set, and I was just like, so they just played a load of new school breaks and then did
Paul
their
Van Dyke
songs
for an
over
Angel.
the top. I was just like, oh Jesus,
rat shite.
Terrible.
No offence if you got them on the show at some point, like, but
hopefully we will, because they would be a good show.
Sorry, lads.
That's all right. Hey, each to their own when it comes to opinions.
Very true. Like if you're making money, crack on.
Yeah, that's it. So, Ethan Fawkes, tell us a little bit. You said he's a Belgian guy.
He's a Belgian-based DJ. He's I was actually looking to book him sometime this year, but because of Brexit, I'm sort of hanging on to see what happens. Maybe he's a possibility for a future booking next year at the festival, or any other festival I do.
Well, just let the local podcast know when he arrives, and maybe we'll sit down and if he speaks some English.
Oh yeah, he speaks very good English. Yes,
wow.
well, his texts do. Like I haven't been having phone sex with him on now, like, you know what I mean? I've been like emailing him and stuff, you know, like late night email swapping and stuff, you know.
Late night email swapping with Belgian techno, Belgian techno producers.
But his stuff seems to be. I quite like it, and he's always making new stuff all the time. And even if he puts a post up on the internet and you reply to it, he'll take the time out to reply to it.
It's nice.
You know what I mean? It's nice how people do that.
Yeah.
Not unless he's just sitting in his mum's spare bedroom, just fucking sitting on the internet,
churning them out,
wanking away, and that. You know, I don't know.
He's
in Belgium. You know what I mean? I don't know
what happens behind closed doors.
Ask him when he comes over.
That's fucking Belgiums for you.
Yes, exactly.
Well, there we go.
I wonder what Frank's going to be like having a tug when he's fucking on the decks.
While he's at it.
But anyways, back on the floor.
But anyways,
back on the floor.
I had a bit of a look at Ethan Fawkes, and he's got a Bandcamp set up, and he's got some really good quality deals on there. I think for €10 you can get like the last 2 albums he's done.
That's right.
That's a blinded deal.
Yeah, it's a really good deal.
I buy a lot of his records to support him. Like I got one recently, Full Contact, which is another one by him, which is actually a really good track, which is in my box to play at LINDISFARNE FESTIVal on the DeltaCity Stage.
Right, well there you go. So if you want to hear more from them, get along to DeltaCity at
Buy
LINDISFARNE.
tickets, buy tickets, still on sale.
Yeah, the links are in the description. We're going to play a bit of Ethan Fox for you now. We're going to play a different tune to the one that you said you've got in your box. So would you like to introduce this tune for everyone?
This track is Back to the Floor by Ethan Fox.
Crush that. Face facts. Crush that. Face facts. Bring it back, 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 bring it back to the flow. Give a dap to your bro, cause the party's so damn vicious. Bring it back, 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 bring it back to the flow. Give a dap to your bro, cause the party's so damn vicious. Crush that. Face facts. Crush that. Face facts. Bring it back, 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 bring it back to the flow. Give a dap to your bro, cause the party's so damn vicious. Bring it back, 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 bring it back to the flow. Give a dap to your bro, cause the party's so damn vicious. Crush that. Face facts. Crush that. Face facts. Bring it back, 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 bring it back to the flow. Give a dap to your bro, cause the party's so damn vicious. Bring it back, 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 bring it back to the flow. Give a dap to your bro, cause the party's so damn vicious.
Ladies and gentlemen, trolls and squirrels, it's time for the most confusing segment on the whole of the internet. It is time for...
Just that's this fucking subject.
Just... It's time for Addie versus Gav.
It's Addie versus Gav again.
It's Addie versus Gav yet again. Last time out, we asked you to pick which of the two tunes that we liked with animal
noises in, animal sample.
With an animal sample, yeah. And yet again, Addie has ran away.
I am the four horsemen of this podcast, Gavin. Woo! Bringing it back to Ric Flair again. See how I'm doing there? Continuity, that's Gavin.
Yeah,
that's
bringing it all back round. It all goes in circles. He's foreshadowing things, isn't he? Foreshadowing things. This time out, we've had a look through the recommendations, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to do another little Lindisfarne callback.
Yeah, not that we're shills for Lindisfarne or anything, but we are whores for your cash and free gift.
Yeah,
especially at Lindisfarne, if you see us. Fill us full of pingers or things and beers, we're easy going. Like we're just the 9 to 5 type of guys.
Well, that's it, yeah. 9 to 5, the hard working ones in the industry, the full day ravers, not just the weekend ravers.
We're there the full time 24/7,
48/7, 7-11 champion.
Yeah,
something like that. So this time out, we're going to do a different sort of take on it. So we're going to look at the artists who are playing at Lindisfarne.
And we have.
And we're going to play a tune that we don't think's being played on the podcast by the artists, is what we're calling it. So it's like best tune by someone at Lindisfarne.
Yes.
We'll
pick an artist, we'll pick one of their tunes, you decide.
Yeah, cool. Last time out, I went first, so Mr. UAP, do you want to do the honours?
I'm going for a friend of the show. So I'm already off to a good start there, Gav.
Yeah.
The fantastic DJ Slipmat.
Yeah, and you can go back to episode 14 of the podcast on all of the everywheres and listen
Banging.
to it.
What a nice guy, and what a fucking amazing podcast that is.
Yeah, he did.
Seeing so myself, and I'm slightly biased.
He is only slightly biased.
Yeah, only slightly biased.
He could be forcing it down your throat.
It could be.
Yeah.
But the tune I'm going to play is On a Ragga Tip.
Yeah, which is like just quintessential, amazing old school rave tune.
Yes.
Well, I'm also going to go with another friend of the podcast, because why not plug people that you know?
Yeah.
The other big guy we had on in accordance to Lindisfarne was, of course, Dream Frequency. We had that amazing conversation with Blandy, my brother in Bowie Love. So what we're going to do is we're going to play one of his more underappreciated tunes. I'm going to play the tune Euphoria. So, as always, you go to Facebook, you go to the pinned post, you go to the very top, and you select either Addie or Gav. So, whichever of the two tunes you prefer, just pick it. It's dead easy. And then, in the comments below, suggest a topic for next time.
Yeah, a topic.
Yeah. That's easy to do. Hopefully.
I'll put you right, unless you're Tony T, because you're getting blocked.
What's he done to you?
He just keeps asking stupid things. Not picking subjects for one, Tony T.
Oh, he's just a tinker. He's a tinker all the way alive. Well, as we said last time out, Addie was the winner. So, Addie, would you like to introduce the tune?
Four names, Gavin. 4 names.
Addie, it's 5-1.
What?
It's 5-1.
No, does that count like there?
I thought you said we got a point each last time out.
Oh, then I'm the 5-time Addie versus Gav champion. And then to win my 5th championship, nothing better. Bitter Ramirez, El Garinero, the chicken song from back in the day. Play it.
Arriba gallinero! Arriba gallinero!
The On The Rave podcast is available absolutely everywhere to download, and you can get in touch with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/On The Rave. You can find us on Twitter @On The Rave. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/On The Rave. We are on Instagram.
That's my favourite one then.
Where you can find us on the rave with Addie and Gav, where you can see pictures of what Addie's been doing during the week.
Shenanigans.
We are powered by Podbean
And fueled by Basement
Don't
Snaxx.
forget that you can go into Ridley Place, wander down that spiral staircase and scream at Dom's
On the Rave!
and she will give you 10% off all of your cookies and snacks. Oh, it's good.
Goodness.
Oh, it's good. Section 6 is the part of the On The Rave podcast where I ask the habitual lime sepper himself to set the scene.
Right, Reggie, let's go back. Let's go way back in time. You walk in, open the door, the double doors of a little bar in town. What bar in town do you think I'm talking about?
Which bar?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
A little one with a rave basement.
With a rave basement. Rave basement, that'll be Stout Fiddler.
That's right. We're walking into the Stout Fiddler. You go straight to the bar. See John behind the
Yes.
bar. He's looking angry.
He's
He doesn't
moaning
like
it's
that
too
bang
loud.
bang music from downstairs. He's complaining already. You say, John, I don't want any of your shit. Give us a cheap bottle of LCL that you haven't bought from the breweries. You've just bought from the cash and carry. Shut up. I'm going downstairs. Make your way down that little staircase. Open the door to the just intense heat that 50 people in a very small room can bring. The DJ's on the decks and he's just playing a selection of the best records ever, but he plays one record and you just, that's it. That's everything I want to hear. Are your hands in the air? Are you screw face down?
Screw face.
Right, there we go.
Screw face. Always screw face. I'm never hands in the air.
No, that's sweet. I love a bit of a
Bit of
screw
both.
face. I love a bit
Makes
of
a bit of
screw
both,
face.
doesn't he?
Yeah, I do. I like a bit of both, love. Like a bit of both. Right. Okay. So, what sort of tune puts that screw face on?
That's sort of like the one track that, for some reason, I don't know why, I presume it's called Speed Garage. I'm sure this track is it's subgenre of Speed Garage, you know.
Right. Okay.
So that would be Deeper Part 2 by Serious Danger.
Right.
It's just got that sort of just this little build up to it, and when the bass comes in, it's just it's for, it's for me, like, you know, it's not like the type of tracks you hear now, but for like the late 90s, it wasn't
very
rave.
fresh at the time.
It was a very fresh sound, but it wasn't rave, it wasn't techno, it was fucking another genre, and it was kind of splitting off, you know. Really do like that track, like.
Right. Sound.
Let's get on it.
Yeah.
But then again, I could tell a lie because I can do the actions, and it would be like. So I would say that's a screw face, but then I've got a fist in
That's
the air.
one hand in
Oh, yeah,
there.
yeah, but
So what is it then?
Well, it's either a Shira.
That's for trance. Like, putting your hands up in the air is for trance. Do you know what I mean? Like,
You think?
trance is like your hands in the air.
See, I like piano's hands.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know. Like,
You don't know.
pianos. What would I do? I'd be playing the piano like.
Would you be miming?
Yes,
You
I'd be
would-
miming. Well, I used to do that as a kid. I used to mime to songs as a kid.
Oh.
With the keyboard.
I love a bit of drunken mime. I really
Okay.
do. I love a bit of you're up there and someone plays "Let Me Be Your Fantasy" and it's dun,
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 dun.
dun. You play all the keys along with it as
I
well.
still do it now on me dashboard.
On your dash while you're at the traffic lights.
No, while I'm driving.
While you're driving, that would go with his third arm because he's definitely got two hands on the wheel, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't listen, police.
Yeah.
Don't follow Richie around and forget all the drug references we were talking about them in a hypothetical kind of manner.
Yeah, this podcast is to entertain. Some of it's
We're
based
all
on
characters.
fiction. We
It's
are.
fictional, not fact.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So let's rack the tune out then. So let's play a little bit of Serious Danger, and the name of the tune is.
I haven't got a clue.
Sorry.
Is it Deeper Part 2?
It's the part 2.
There you are.
On the Rave! There's just something about the cantina music from Mos Eisley that everyone's going to love. Like, yeah, you've got a really good story as to why you wanted to dedicate this track to someone.
Well, this track is sort of dedicated to a lass who I recently met.
Yeah.
Who's actually not my girlfriend. I met her up at the Res 25-year
What a night.
anniversary.
What a night.
What a night, you know what I mean?
What a night.
It was fantastic, you know. The weather was shit, but the tunes were really good. And there was at one
Absolutely
point
buggered.
The
the
atmosphere
music
was amazing.
was too much for us. It was just, I'm sure, like Roughneck One or something, you know. And I was like, right, I'm going for a tab. And I was standing round the bins, just hanging round the bins, you know, like you do. And then a lass just sort of burst out the crowd and started talking to us, and here I am, 4 months later, 5 months later maybe, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's kind
Been
of
a little
this,
while.
it's been a while. And this tune, when it kind of plays on my phone and wakes us up in the morning, she probably does a little dance sometimes in there, so this is for her, like.
Oh, that's
Nice.
I love
It's a nice
it.
little story.
Yeah, it is. It's good that you're telling this story in such a setting with having Han Solo,
Solo there,
over
yes.
your shoulder there and a Death Star and
including the Res as well, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Reminiscing.
Yeah. So what we're going to do a little bit of a double dedication, and we're going to
That's
play
right.
a track for everyone who's going to be coming along and joining in with your project you're doing. So
That's right.
let's do another little bit and talk a little bit about your whole Delta City thing.
Yeah.
So the DeltaCity Stage is going to be on at Lindisfarne this year.
It's on at Lindisfarne this year, yes. Like I say, we do start on the Thursday night at 8 o'clock. We finish at 12. We start again on the Friday at 4 o'clock. We finish at 3 in the morning. We'll fire back up again at 4 o'clock on the Saturday till close. So the festival finishes at 4, but I'm meant to finish at 3, but if it's rocking, I'm still going.
Yeah.
Playing all the way
Because I'm
through.
playing last. I'm closing my stage because I think I deserve it.
Shut it down.
Yeah, exactly. So if you run out of everything else to do, just remember that Delta City is the place to be on the Sunday, because it'll be rave until you drop. If there are people dancing, Richie's gonna keep playing tunes.
I will be. That's if I'm awake still, because I'm kind of like Addie. Sometimes I tend to fall asleep on the decks.
It happens.
It does happen.
happens.
He happens to the best of her,
It does.
and the semi-professional of her.
Yeah.
It does.
Mint, so you selected a tune that's quite apt for everyone.
It
so
is, yes.
why don't you give us a little lowdown on why you picked it and then introduce the tune?
I like this tune. There's one of my pals, shout out going out to Muzzy, who we regularly swap slow cooker recipes and old school rave tunes via WhatsApp.
Yes.
And
Aged men on the rave.
Good.
Yes,
Good
yes.
thing. I've recently found quite a few things which I was just like,
Did you know you can make cakes in slow cookers?
No.
Yes. Oh, fucking. Oh, you make everything in slow cooker. I've made a full English breakfast in a slow cooker.
I can imagine full English breakfast, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
but no eggs. You can't do your eggs in it.
Do scrambled eggs, but
I had no idea. I'm
you
sorry.
put the scrambled eggs in first.
Well, you can make cake.
Then
You
put
can
everything
make
else.
cake and everything else, but aye. So I regularly just swap recipes and old rave tunes. You know, that's
Yeah.
how we kind of keep in touch a lot. And
Yeah.
he's listened to everything I've said about the festival stage. So he's kind of like he's the same as me pal, the Beast. He listens to us a lot, and another guy called John Howe. They're all like they're listening to every idea I've got for the festival.
Yeah.
So it's really a shout out to the whole crew. You know.
All people I know as well.
Oh, well, there you go, nice. So, but the track that kind of the sound that I want to be playing right at the end, it's by Basic Energy and it's called Delta House.
Right, sweet. Let's get into it.
Doctor, is this the Delta House? Is this the Delta House? 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 Delta House?
And there you have it. That is the sound that is the sound of Delta City if you're going to be along at Lindisfarne. It's going to be a belter. You should get down. Tickets available all
Yeah, I
over
was
the
going to
shop.
say, I'm sure there's still tickets available.
Yeah,
I
you
might have mentioned it, but
get tickets.
get your tickets.
Either from the Lindisfarne website.
Get your
or
Lindis
click-
tickets now.
or
Get
click
your
into
Lindis
the link.
tickets now.
Or you can buy them direct off me, but to be fair, I've got 2 trucks to pack this weekend and I've got a lot of work on next weekend, so
Message
I'm off the
them quick.
website.
Yeah.
Message me quick, or to be fair,
This is going out on Friday, so be
be
very,
very,
quick.
very quick.
Yeah.
But Lindisfarne Festival.co.uk.
UK?
Yeah, because we're in the UK. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Or you can
Forward
check
slash
my
tickets.
website
Fucking
out.
Brexit.
Yeah, you can check my website out, which is www.deltacitycreative.com. You can also catch us on Instagram to see the stage build. And
Oh,
what
that's
I've
my
actually been
favourite,
doing.
Gav. I love Instagram.
Dave,
Yeah,
is that for music and food?
Yes, mostly.
There you go.
Sweet.
Music, food, and pictures of dogs.
All right, yes. Good old Pat.
Everyone's got their own muses when it comes to things like that on Instagram, though. Like, I like watching those videos. Have you seen the videos of, like, insane amounts of chocolate on a cake or something.
No.
And people will just put a spoon on it and pull it out, and it's like, oh, it's a waste of so much chocolate, but at the same time you keep salivating. And
Is that your guilty pleasure, like?
Salivating
Salivating in chocolate sauce?
My guilty
Well,
pleasure
Addie
is
licks it
probably
off you.
Japanese girls. It's my guilty pleasure. There you go. Apparently, in any case, but let's stroll on to the bone of contention that is guilty pleasures. So, what's your take on guilty pleasures? Do you think they exist? Like, what's your banter?
Well, I would say if you said, what's your guilty pleasure? Someone would say it's like a secret, you know?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, like a secret, but to me...
It's something that you don't want your friends to know that you listen to.
Well, I don't listen to it. I don't.
Oh,
but when I wouldn't tell people I did listen to it. That's the difference.
Right.
But it was 2 Unlimited.
Oh.
When you were young. Bear in mind, I was only 11 year old. 92. I was 11 year old then. You know what I mean? So I had the album, had it on tape. Now VHS. So it was like the rap versions and the non-rap versions, you know. So I would used to put them on and like have my keyboard, and I would like pretend to play it when they're on Top of the Pops. I pretend to play it. I remember 2 Unlimited were on a kids' TV breakfast show on a Saturday morning. You know, when they used to do from the Tiny Studio.
Oh yeah, who was it with?
What the fuck? It wasn't with Ant and Deck and that, but it was
Millennium Dustbin. Was it with the Gilbert one where that Gilbert the alien? Fucking hell,
I
that's
like
well
like
back
that.
off.
But I'm talking this would have been
I might
probably
be
92
before then actually.
So they were on there, and there was actually a competition to meet and greet them, win the album in a quote. So I entered in. You had to send your answer in on a postcard. So I sent it in, and somebody told us that I'd won.
Really?
Because I missed it. I didn't watch the programme. Like, you've won. So my grandma got in touch with them, and because my jacket didn't turn up, and they were like, no, he hasn't won. Someone's told me a lie. I was devastated.
Oh, that's not on.
And that's when I realised I don't like 2 Unlimited anymore.
Also, there's a story behind it being a guilty pleasure because do you reckon you'd still dance if you heard it?
No, because they were on in town, and recently my sister tagged us in it, guns, get yourself tickets, and my reply was, fuck off. Simple as that. I don't know who else was on it, but I was like, I am not going there. Sure, they were like, we love the 90s. I was like, shut man, that's not the 90s. It is the 90s, but it's not the 90s I remember. No. So, but, you know, it's like, I don't have the album anymore. I tell you what it is, there's one good version of Get Ready for This, right? That's the name of the track, not like Get Ready for This, you know what I mean? And it's actually on a res tape. But
well, you know what?
Do you know what? It's a B-side of it.
I don't know that part, but when I was working in the market, I used to be bored in the shop I was working at. There was like this little stall selling old magazines on the corner. You used to buy like magazines 25 pence and just skip through it. I used to go back and like buy old DJ mags and just read the techno head sound and like that certain DJs top 10 was on Joey Beltram's.
Was it?
Yeah, I was just like,
what that to Get Ready for This? Yeah. And it's the one on the B side, but there's a riff in it. It's honestly, I was in Sandy's house. I was at Sandy's, and I was after we'd been DJing on New Year's Eve, and I went back for a cup of tea. Yeah. And I actually heard it on this res tape, and I was like, do you know what? I like that, but it was just a riff I didn't like. But it's actually quite a good tune, like. But it's thinking, would I actually play that, and what would people think of us? You know what I mean? So that's a bit of a guilty pleasure. Should I play it one day? Should I not?
It sounds like it.
But I wouldn't play this one.
This sounds like the perfect time to play it, actually.
It is. It does sound like the perfect time to play it.
But this isn't the one I've actually suggested. Isn't suggested, so literally... but the one I have suggested...
is definitely a guilty pleasure.
Is actually fucking Twilight Zone by 2 Unlimited, and probably because it would always be on MTV. So MTV on a Saturday night would have a rave off. We'd put it on my mum, we'd put it on for an hour, and you'd have like Das Boot U96, you'd have like KLF, What Time Is Love, and that was your connection actually when... people made music and made a video with it. Like, if you've made a music video, you've made it in music. Simple as that. Paul from now, fucking, I don't know, 2 Unlimited are playing at Mecca Bingo, and the KLF are probably burning £1 million on an island in Scotland. So you can really, because you made a music video, actually does mean fuck all. Like,
well, that's it. The people who have got no money can make music videos.
They can, yes.
I've got a music video.
Yeah, he's got a music video made in Japan.
Is he?
Yeah, he's among that elitist crew, aren't you?
Yeah. He's famous over there, like Chop Chop.
Chop Chop's famous everywhere. Where was he in Sweden the other week?
Denmark.
He was in Denmark.
He was, yes, aye. He was moaning.
Yeah, no.
He's a whingy cunt, like.
He is.
I love you, Chop.
No one selected his track on this week's Addie vs Gav.
Hey, because I'm the five-time Addie vs Gav champion.
Eventually I'll pick a half decent tune, but let's see what you all think of this tune. So for Richie's guilty pleasure track, this is 2 Unlimited, and the tune is Twilight Zone.
zone as I bump the sound. You want more you get. We're too limited in effect. Check up the sound and stop this distortion. When you think it's finished, here's another portion. Just lay back as we take control. Take you down into the twilight zone. Take a break. Straight to the heavyweight, worse or better. Bitches in a wake park in vicinity. Slaying DJs with a wild capability. Listen to the jam as we go wild. Take your MC as game versatile. Me and a lady hall megatone. Rock you up in the twilight zone.
Hey, that was Too Unlimited, and that was
The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, which is like to be fair, I still think that's a little bit of a banger. Like,
do you think?
Yeah, I don't mind it. You know, if it was 2 a.m. and I was drunk and someone put that on, I'd still wave my arms.
Hey,
like, absolutely
stuff.
I think it's when you were a kid, it was the wifey that was in it as well.
Oh, she was banging.
In that sort of like.
Was she called Anita or something?
Anita or something like that, but it was like, check who's. No, when you were young, how
Yeah.
teenager, you know what I mean?
Oh, well, that was it.
I never had posters of on my wall.
No.
Had posters of the man.
Ray.
I didn't read Ray. Is that his
I'm
name?
sure that's what his
Ray.
name.
My name is Ray.
Ray and Anita.
Ray and Anita.
But they're still going strong now.
They are
Yes,
doing
they're playing loads of
various...
social clubs for 250 quid a gig, probably.
Well, there you go. Still rinsing it for every penny they can get out of it.
Very true.
Right, let's move from the atrocity that is 2 Unlimited to talking about the greatest of all time. So, goats. Where do you fall on the line of goats? Have you got many people you consider the greatest of all time, or was this an easy pick?
Well, it's kind of an easy pick, quite simply because I couldn't really do maybe what most people do in reference towards like a musician, a singer, somebody that like a singer-songwriter.
Aye.
To me, everything's always electronic, always has been, and it will be Orbital.
Yep.
Was that the Hardcore Brothers, you know? Their first track would have been like Chime, and they made that in their garage with a couple of little bits of basic kit, which is kind of like what I've got at home. I've got a little old analog kit at home.
Right.
And just their sound, and like it builds, you know? Like they kind of produced music that people now don't produce. I like music, it just kind of builds and it builds and it builds and it just keeps going. There's always something new coming in. I would say 10% of the tracks I don't actually like. I'll be honest with you, Doctor Who, I don't like that track.
Yeah.
A couple of the ones I couldn't name, but another one I really like is like Satan. I quite like that one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But buy that from HMV.
Yes, aye, exactly. But they really do like that stuff, and they've been going that long, and they're still packing out gigs to this day.
Despite retiring numerous times.
I was about to mention that. I think twice they've went to retire. Like the last time I seen them was at the O2 in town. And it was during the heat drought, and I remember watching them completely level-headed. I've never took anything in my life, man. Don't worry about it. But I seen them and they were that good. I was like, do you know what? I'll be happy if I never ever see them again because I went out on a high. They were brilliant. I was level-headed, and they were on at the Stage, and I did exactly the same thing there. And I regretted not getting off my box and getting to the front of the crowd.
Oh,
aye.
The other way around.
So hopefully they don't retire because I want to see them again.
Yeah, it's like the opposite to the Wu-Tang Clan with me.
Yes.
The first time I went to go and see Wu-Tang Clan, they were amazing. I absolutely loved the experience. They were unbelievable. And I saw them again the second time. They were awful and it soured.
Oh, were they? So you didn't want to like spoil that nostalgic sort of like. I'm happy with that performance. I'll pack it there and put them away.
I even said to myself, I was like, I don't know why you're going again. Like you shouldn't have went again. You saw them that once and they were amazing. Just let the dead donkey lie.
Yes,
you know what I mean? But I went again, and the second time around, it was really disappointing, and it kind of like it broke us a little bit inside. It was a bit shit.
It happens.
Did you cry?
I didn't cry. It was
Cry
like it was like I've got a massive love for Venetian Snares. I love lots of the music that he does, but the first two sets I physically saw him
Venetian
actually
Snares,
do.
They played at the Cooperage, didn't? Not the
Yes,
Cooperage.
they
Egypt
did.
Cottage.
Not
the Egypt Cottage.
Actually.
They did because at the time. My
Again,
ex,
Egypt Cottage comes up as two podcasts in a row.
my ex, she was there, a barmaid in there, and she remembers, she goes, this crazy band's played, you would have loved it. And then I listened and I was like, fuck no, that's a bit mental, that stuff like.
Yeah.
Right, the Egypt Cottage, you know, that little sort of semi-rave place you can have parties, playing in the little room at the back with the heating on full belt.
I remember seeing Kid 606 in there, and that was like, was that Egypt Cottage, the Kid 606 one, Addy, do you remember?
You're talking like 16, 17
It could have
years
been
ago.
there, or wasn't it Time Bar?
I don't think it was. It might have been
outside at the.
Was that Tiger Beat?
The Tiger Beat Records night.
Aye.
We were being done playing as well outside at the time, probably. Actually.
It's a shame the time don't let you do stuff.
I know, it's a real shame.
It is a real shame.
It's going to all totally change when the YI wheel gets put in. Well, have you not seen the plans for the YI wheel?
A whole load of shite.
Oh, no.
Massive fucking
Where's
wheel.
it going? I have. Is it going on Spill as well?
It's going right at the very bottom of Byglass, Spill as well, Fi.
Are they?
And they're putting a big YI wheel. They're making a hotel which is specifically for hen and stag parties.
Oh, is that right? So what they're doing
the
is...
people in the Oosburn are already fighting against it because they've been fighting against these sort of local politics on the podcast. Addy, fucking hell.
Yeah,
Well, they've been fighting against the.
But don't
people
just talk about Rave.
No, exactly. But what it's doing again is it's like what we do. You know, if we had a venue that had like 3-4 rooms that would go back to the Cooperage, where I've got a big sound system, who else in town still got sound systems? Because everybody had a little system going, and you need crews. You need a crew doing techno, crew doing drum and bass, crew doing rave, and then that's how you get packing these nights out. Because now someone wants to put a party on, spend the money on a DJ, and just hoping that mates come.
Yeah.
Now you need to get all the crews together and have a fucking rave like. So if anyone's got a venue, give us a shout like.
Yeah,
you bring
as
your
I
own
said
decks.
before, doesn't have to be on it. He bring his own decks, bring his own speakers, bring his own crowd.
I'll bring
the
some
crowd. I mean, and he'll bring the headphones.
DJs
and,
don't share needles though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not good DJs, not clean DJs.
Yes.
In any case, like.
Andy can fetch his laptop because he's no longer old school.
No, I've still got everything.
Does he?
Yeah, he's still got a bag of records. He just prefers his little
bag of records. Fuck you were mine last week.
It's got a wall. Sorry,
they were just like
a wall of records.
Q brought these this bag of records that were looking through this, and I went, oh, when I was going through me loft the other day, I brought 2 handfuls down. He was like, it's just nothing but disgusting tunes in this, and it was like, how many is up there? I was like, it's like lots and lots and
Addie
lots.
and his dusty 12-incher.
There's 2 very big dusty 12 inches lots in there. Unfortunately.
So what is it about Orbital that like makes them your goat in particular? Is it the longevity?
It's the amount of time they've been going, that particular sound. If they make a new track and you hear it, you know it's them.
Yeah, it's
They've
like
got
the Prodigy.
it's like the Prodigy. The Prodigy have got the particular sound, and Orbital have got their own sound as well. And it's the fact that a lot of the stuff in the early days game with the Prodigy and Orbital, it was all made on hardware.
Yeah.
This was way before. Obviously, you had your Amigas and stuff to make like old school rave, your breaks and all your choppy stuff, but they were making it like through hardware, sequencers, samplers, and everything is programmed and made.
Yeah.
Whereas now, there's a lot of good music out there, but a lot of stuff I would class it as cut and paste rave. Where a lot of music sounds exactly the same. So when
there's definitely a formula.
There's a formula, and formulas, I kind of didn't believe in them. Like some people pre-plan the sets to DJ out, and like I just grab a pile of records and play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like kind of, I like sounds that maybe like a lot of old stuff, they've probably sat down and just done it on the fly.
Yeah.
Because I know what hardware is like, and I do it a lot myself, but I don't release stuff. I just like the look of flashy lights in my loft.
Yeah.
So it's like you get that proper feel for it. So everything they've done's probably been like raw. It is made, especially when they play live. You know, they're constantly tweaking stuff all the time. It's just quite got a bit of a soft spot for them.
Yeah, that sound. I think they're just one of those like big sort of digital EDM bands that everyone's like. I think a lot of people have probably seen Orbital. Like they're well travelled, aren't they? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you never know somebody that could play at Lindisfarne Festival.
Oh,
yeah,
it has been spoken about.
Is that you setting goals there?
Yes, it's been spoken about in the past, but not this year. It was last year.
Ladies and gentlemen, spoilers for 2020 Lindisfarne. Yeah, just in case you're listening.
In case I've got crystal balls and I've read the future.
So, if Mystic Meg took her hands off your peg, which tune?
Me septic peg.
Your septic peg. Which tune by Orbital would you pick as the best one to represent your vision of them as the goat?
It would be Lush.
Lush.
Like 3.1 and 3.2, because it builds, it gets that nice floaty, like sort of you know, this is the radio, and I don't have a face for radio, but if you could see me now, my arms are like sort of like rocking on a bit, you know, and when it kicks into the next part, you're just like, yes, that's it. Yeah. And that's what it does for me, you know.
Yeah, sweet. Well, what we'll do is we'll play that one big back-to-back section.
I could actually go back on myself and say that's a hands in the air type of tune.
Oh, there we go.
So maybe I've clawed back a point for Gav, and you know, took it away from mine.
Everyone's a little bit biased.
Maybe a half each.
Everyone's a little bit.
I'm a bit biased.
Everyone's a little bit two-way when it comes to arms in the air. Sound. Well, let's play a little bit of Lush by Orbital. This is 3.1 and 3.2. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Orbital, and to put it frankly, that was lush. 3.1 and 3.2 to be precise. And that was the good moment. We've got through another one of these podcasts, Annie. We're all the way to the end, and we're down to Richie's last question. It's been lush sitting down and having a good crack with you.
Much appreciated.
And seeing you actually sitting down and chilling out before the inevitable running in circles for a week that is putting
That's right, I have been running around like a goon for the past 6 months.
Yeah.
So this is actually a nice little bit of downtime before I go home and look at the big list I've got and go, oh shit.
Right, well, we'll talk about the last song on your little list you sent to us first, like, before you start ticking your boxes of all the shit you need to get in the van for Lindisfarne. So let's talk about personal anthems. Tunes that other people might associate with you, or tunes that are quintessentially what you are as a rave tune. As we put it, if you were coming down to the ring in the WWE, what sort of music would you have playing? So, where do you lie on personal anthems? Was this one a hard one to pick?
It wasn't really a hard one to pick because
I think most people have that tune that you
I
think,
have that.
yes,
Yes.
that's me.
I like this tune. Again, it's by Orbital.
Yep.
It's the box. That's what it is. I quite like it because it's the pianos in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like ding 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 ding. And
Is this another one you practiced in the bedroom?
No, because it was out in 1996 and I was 15 then. And come on, man, I was 15, man. I was like growing up a little bit. I wasn't into Too Unlimited then. I was like, I was progressing with the times, like, you know what I mean. I discovered the Green album by then, you know. But like Orbital, it's plus as well, you'd see it again on MTV. So we'd move from Too Unlimited, we're still in the KLF. We're moving into like Orbital on MTV on a Saturday night, you know. And I noticed it had like Spillers Wharf, like the old, not the flour mill, but is this, what's there? The Baltic. What's the Baltic is on it?
The Spillers Wharf in Newcastle, like.
The one on the river?
Yeah, Spillers Wharf. You know, with the big building that stupid big YI wheel.
Aye.
Aye. So literally parts of it was actually filmed in Newcastle. And then that actually, when I seen it, I thought, I like that tune. And it's just got the pianos. The pianos does it for us, you know.
Yeah.
It really is like that.
So it's more the pianos that we were talking about.
The pianos,
earlier,
you know, so
like the ones that you said earlier you weren't that interested in. It's actually
there's a difference because it's like a piano. It's electronic piano. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a piano or guitars or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, I'm quite contradicting. You know what I mean? To be fair, as long as it's electronically made music by Rave Dons, I'm happy.
It's all right, mate. It's
hitting the spots, like it's still hitting the spots.
It hits the spot, you know. It really does, like that.
Yeah. They're good at their anthems though.
They are.
They've got a few. You probably, if you were picking an anthem by Orbital, you could probably they could have used that as a category. And
see, but most people would pick the likes of
people will get it right.
They would pick the likes of Chime and stuff like that. But again, it's like the Prodigy. I don't go down the route of people are like, oh, out of space, way old school. I'm like, I fucking hate that tune. I hate it, no offence, because it's overplayed. So every old school DJ's got a generic sort of like list of what to play, and it's like I like to hear forgotten anthems by people. Ones that people like, actually I forgot that track, and it makes people think a bit more, you know.
So the ones that
I've got a few for Detox. I've got a few,
He's got a few in his
I need to hunt out the
records.
Files. Actually, the files, because I don't think I'll get the records there. I think they'll be very, very expensive.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, they'll be very, very expensive. Of 50 pence.
Well, I wouldn't play records there.
No,
because they will guaranteed the records will skip. Because when I last played at the Cosmic, when Lenny D was on, you can't play records. You can't.
What, up or down?
Upstairs you can't play records if they've moved the DJ box to where I was the last time on the dance floor.
It's right in the middle.
Yeah, so if you're playing, you're gonna have to go laptop or CD. That's a little bit of Richie's common sense for you.
There you go, pills of wisdom from a man who's played in all of the sounds, all of the different venues in town.
Yes.
Didn't take records if you're going to play it upstairs.
Well, I don't think they'll have turntables.
Very much down. Turntables are now obsolete in Newcastle, I think, unless you bring your own.
Yeah, you're going to bring your own 1210s these days.
Yes.
Well, where was that the other day when Jez was loading his sound system in on Saturday down at the Globe, and he loaded in an old 1200, and I was just like, "Whoa, look at you shiny silver bugger!"
Is it older than you?
Yeah, 1200s aren't quite as old as me.
Yeah.
But they're lovely looking bits of kit. Like there's something about a 12. There's something
it's
about
just a turntable log, Gav.
Oh, I know.
It does the same things.
I know. It's just the shine. Look at the shiny. I can't help myself. Just like when you see the big Pioneer mixers that are like, whoa, look at all those dials and knobs. What do they do? Look at the shiny.
Yes.
I just want to twist them all and hear what they all do. Well, it's been lush sitting down and talking to you. As I said, if you want to see more from Richie, click the link, get your tickets, come to see
tickets.
Come to see DeltaCity.
Come and support the rave. Do you know what I mean? Come along and support.
Come and
rave,
get
lads.
on the rave with Addie and Gav and Richie and Lindisfarne.
Exactly. It's the number one place to be.
You might even get on the show. Might be out and about in the fucking community asking people questions, rave related.
If you bring a really good sticker, we might even stick it on the rave horn.
There's not much space.
There's not much space left, but if there's a good sticker, it might go over the top of something Wookiee-ish. But that being said, Richie, it's been class. Would you like to introduce the final track for everyone?
The final track is The Box by Orbital.
The On The Rave podcast is available absolutely everywhere to download, and you can get in touch with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/OnTheRave. You can find us on Twitter @OnTheRave. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/OnTheRave. We are on Instagram.
That's my favourite one then.
Where you can find us on the rave with Addie and Gav, where you can see pictures of what Addie's been doing during the week.
Shenanigans.
We are powered by Podbean
and fueled by Basement Snaxx.
Don't forget that you can go into Ridley Place, wander down that spiral staircase and scream at Dom's
On The Rave,
and she will give you 10% off all of your cookies and snacks. Oh,
goodness.
it's good. Oh, it's good. Well, what a lovely bloke Richie is.
He is.
Yeah.
He used to look like Sideshow Bob, and now he doesn't.
Yeah, well, I remember him with his dreadlocks.
Yeah.
I think there's more pictures of him on Facebook with his dreads than without his dreads.
Definitely
He's
is.
gone
He
full
had them for
hippie
years.
though,
He
hasn't he?
had full-on dreads.
Full-on dreads and that. Like mine, all the way down to your arse and that.
Yeah.
In any case, Richie is a really good guy. He's loved on the scene up in Newcastle and he's done a lot for everyone.
He has, and get yourself down to Lindisfarne to his DeltaCity compound and rave your arse off. A bit of Frankie the Wolf.
Yeah, that's it. There's going to be like loads. That's not some. There's going to be loads of amazing stuff going on.
A few absolute legends in there, and a lot of very, very good local DJs.
Yeah.
Big up Fun Size Johnny. We need to get you on the show, man.
Yeah. Fun Size is one of the ones who people keep asking where to get on. It's hard.
He's hard to pin down.
He is. He's big.
He's big.
Yeah.
But he's fun size, and it's not because he's got a little cock. There's ask us if you see us out. If you see Johnny, ask him what that's about.
Yeah, definitely. Don't ask us about the story. Embarrass Johnny about it.
Oh, he's not going to tell you.
He'll tell you all about it. So, a little bit about what we've got coming up next time out. We're going to be banging out a couple of podcasts in association with Detox.
The mighty Detox, which we were also performing at both of those.
Yeah, both of us are going to be on at that Detox. It's going to be super fun, and we're not going to spoil who it is we've got on the show. Get yourself onto their Facebook page to have a look at their lineup. You can still buy tickets. They're out there and available. It's big artists from that night. Yeah, it's one of the big names from that night who we haven't had on before.
E.g. not Mark Archer.
E.g. not Mark Archer. But we might be sitting down with someone in relations to Mark Archer as well.
Yes,
so
that's possible. That's also possible.
Fingers in pies, ladies and gentlemen. Fingers in pies.
Content for yous, our loyal listeners.
Great Scott. We've done it again.
We'll get the end.
We've got to the very end, and it's time for Addie.
Fucking science!
It's time for Mr. UEP to delve into that giant leather bag of Bunsen burners, test tubes, and torturous tongues.
And it is torturous today. It is torturous. It's the wonderful, wonderful made-up place that is Australia. And I'm going to hit you up with another lot of delicious 8-bit shit. Full on in media code. This is the Hedonist and Talkback.
Amazing. What an absolutely belting way to end it with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been on the Rave. My name is Gav.
I'm Addie.
And we are now officially
off the Rave.
Good night.
If it was my daughter that got killed in that car prank, I'd be sitting off the mongrel with a 3-0 and I'd blow him off the face of the earth. You don't have a job, do you? You've probably been sitting on your bum for the last 10 years collecting the bloody doll. And then we pay them not to work, and we taxpayers forevermore carry that burden. And then we pay them, and then we pay them, and then we pay them not to work, and we taxpayers forevermore carry that burden. Come on, Jack. Come on, tell me what they've done. They've done. Well, now, come on, Jack. Come on. So now, come on, Jack. Come on, tell me. Well, now, come on, Jack. Come on. So now, come on, Jack. Come on. Now, come on, Jack. Come on, tell me what they've done. They've done. Well, tell me what they've done. English. Let's all understand each other.
On the Rave!
Hi, this is Mark Archer from Alternate.
Hi, this is Ian from Dream Frequency.
This is Slipmatt, and you're in tune to the On the Rave.
On the Rave.
On the Rave!
Podcast.
Watch your bass bins, I'm telling you.